It's clean up time on the solar inverter. We're near the end. I don't think I need to chuck up too much stuff we need to at the moment, so some of this can go. Make sure there's nothing in it. It doesn't need to be. You like my sense of humour? We're going to keep all this safe, I think. Just make sure there's no news clips. Can't remember if I banged one on here or not. Yeah. We don't need that one because we're not communicating. Past that. Window change. Do that one. There you go. So we leave that one. Crack down on migrants. We have migrants on the internet, you see. See some news things I put in because it relates. Some people might just go, most people are actually simple people. Yeah, what the hell? Like Emma does that all the time, when I make these lists up. Without more explaining sometimes. What is it? It just makes no sense to me. Right? But it does. Because I'm chucking it in at the time and what's similar. There's something similar. There's a little message in the bottle kind of thing within these clips. Sometimes there's an accidental clip up there and stuff like that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's what a lot of these clips mean. Helps remind me of the time and what's going on at the same time, kind of thing. Gangland Wars. Is it a similar thing? Was I going through a similar thing with this inverter? Gangland War. A feeling. So I put it up. Right? There's a similarity to go into this list. Feelings of what I thought that time. Right, man, they're robbing us. They're raping us out here. Right, they're raping us. You know this clip? Remember that one? Lock your doors. Hide your wives. They're raping your kids. Something like that. Right? They're raping you blind out there. They fuck you in one area and fuck you in another area. They're fucking everyone. We're all getting fucked. Right? Hide your country. Hide your civilians. Don't let your kids see it. Because we're all getting raped out here. Right? And I talked to him about debates, stuff like that. See, this list doesn't need too much of a clean up, really. What else we got here? Go back down now. The voice. Where we belong in these areas. Yeah, that can all stay there. Bit of fun. About the hole. Do they want to go in the hole? So do I have to kick someone in the hole? Hope not. Hope they're not one of these that need to be kicked in the hole. What? That's what that meant. At that time. As we could be dealing with these dudes. Right? Fire starters. Because I certainly ain't one. Now, don't know exactly if this is a Chinese product. We've got a high chance that it is. But he talks about the security of certain areas when it comes to the internet and how they hack in and stuff like that. So that was on the list. Weird things. It's weird. It's weird how things happen, isn't it? Strange stuff. Weird? Why is it weird? The photo looks a little weird. Looks like he just woke up out of bed. Or he just stood on something out of bed. Or he just found out there's no TiVo. Shit. Anyway, let's keep on talking. So we let it be, right? Because there's always a worser person in a worser position than you. But it doesn't mean we can't keep on trying and showing others some stuff so they don't go and become the worser person or a worse person like you. You can help them avoid things by, doing playlists and talking about things and stuff like that. Definitely if you believe that people have been talking about or it hasn't been talked about and it needs to be talked about a bit more because things are continuing or just started or so on. And so I chucked in a couple of other things too when it comes to extra scenes to go with the flow. So if you watch it from the start and then you play it down, you might just see some sort of little pattern. You might start seeing something. I thought it was a little cool thing to advertise and show that advertisement could be also fun, like a movie or a stretched ad in some sort of way. But it all relates to the same thing kind of thing. You know what I mean? Scary trying it. Oh, let's just go through this. Tuning in. Now, why is this? Let me have a quick think. Sometimes I see things and I go, hang on. And I might forget myself, like ordering a lunch a week ago for today. Right? And I'd be like, oh, why did I say I wanted that or something? Sometimes you had a craving that day or something like that. But this one here, when we get to here, that means I'm tuning in. That was me going, all right, we're going to tune in spiritually when it comes to this list. Eh? We need to do some tuning. So I banged him on the list, right? Because I thought he's a pretty good fella to show me a point about tuning. Right? How deep he got into it. He was like, he hooked in like a robot. He hooked into the AI of the ones they need to talk to because he was on some drugs and shit and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't know what he was on, but usually someone that does something $50, usually a crackhead. Isn't that right, Emma? But we'll go with that. Yeah. And so I put up the priest dude. Now the priest dude, he's a little bit like a seller, right? Like the seller. How they go, oh, look, you got all these rights. You got to get a good product. You can ask all the questions you want. We'll answer it. And then he's like, no, did I say you can say that? No, now you got 2 seconds. No, kind of thing. You know what I mean? As he does in that. And I thought that part there and how everything's screwed and stuff like that. Things are screwed around here. That relates a little bit, doesn't it? But yeah, you at least find one part. Let me know in comments. You can do that for fun if you want something to comment instead of the weather, right? Because I got a comment like that. I might have been a bit rude, some people might say, but I was just at that time fed up with a lot of comments and shit. So when you get to that point, you might just get a smart ass comment back like, hey, you're talking about the weather, right? I know the weather is shit, keep that shit up. But anyway, well, let's continue. And then I put up the fags. What companies are teaching kids, what they teach us, what they tell us we got, and all that kind of stuff. But what's the truth, right? And so I'm showing more the truth in another comedy way, and I listen, I show the truth of what the real truth is. But then we got the facade, don't we? We got the kid thought. We don't really know what we're doing until we're in it, in a lot of cases, and that happens a lot. Right? We think we're educated, but then we're not. How I talk about when it comes to the noise complaint thing in one area, right? And so I whack that in a few little areas because that's what a lot of people are like. It's very sad. In fact, when God looks down at the people, he sees all that. And he goes, oh, shit. Right? But anyway, they'll agree that their kid's fine. Right? And if he needs to know anything, they'll answer the questions for him like they do in that clip. Right? But anyway, let's keep on trucking along. So a little bit of that. Chucking some inspiring stuff. What people do when it comes to training and what hard training is. And hard training can come in many ways. Now, they're training for a beast that can go through the jungle and through the water. A tough man, like they want a tough caveman that can use tools today. Right? Pretty much inspiring kind of thing. You listen to him if you want to be that bad. Right? But he has other points in there that I like that he says, right, that can relate. Let me know what it relates to you in some of those inspiring points, and how far is it to you where what he says is too far for you. And it doesn't need to be for you too, right? Doesn't mean you're not a man or anything like that. It just means you're not a Marine or whatever they get to. And if you want to, even greater, more inspiring ways for you, right? Now let's keep on trucking. We've got Pauline Hanson calls out gutless people, gutless companies, people that say one thing, don't do it at all, and don't get back to you. Say they're great, but they're not. They're not, and they're telling everyone else they're great. Huh? Similar things to that kind of thing. So I bang Pauline. Now Pauline, I've got some words about her, and then I've also got some other bad words about her. And that's what life is when it comes to it. But when it comes to could she be a person I could talk to, could I still get to know her in certain areas after all the shit I've watched through from Pauline, a lot of it's crap, a lot of it, yeah, I probably could. She's more above the 50% range in similar things to what I want. But then there's a lot totally different. So I still couldn't join the team and do what they do, like being in a church in certain areas where you got to be there, you got to do exactly what they do pretty much in certain areas. If you can't do those top 10 or top 20, you can't be there. And so more likely I wouldn't fit there. It all depends if they change, because things can change in time. Sometimes they go, they balance down to you instead of you balancing up to them, and you meet in the middle, which has happened more recent, that kind of balance. Stop calling me asshole. Don't break the law. Right? Now, if we have these steps and things like that, right? When it comes to the policies that I've been talking about throughout this list, we wouldn't have to worry about getting lawyers to give them a call like that. Stop breaking the law, asshole. Right? Or you better not break the law. Right? What are you doing? And that's why I put that in there, because I had a feeling that something wasn't right at that time. So I whacked in that just in case. And if there was if they did see things and they were seeing all this and we're right, at that point I'd be going, why are they doing that? I'll be at least commenting. Or be suspicious of, if I was a fraudster, I'd definitely run off at that time. Or if I'm not, I'll be like, well, I don't want to be that, and I'll make sure I definitely do the right steps, because I don't want to be breaking the law, right? So it helps, guide the way. Plus a little bit of comedy and all that kind of stuff in there. Because it's got to resonate to them, as well as what's resonating to me. Because these lists are not just for me, but it's for everybody. That's why I'm making a list. If it's just for me, it would be just private, and I've done this like that, other things like that. But when it's for everybody, it goes out public, because it's for me, plus for everybody. It's things that I believe everyone should know because of certain outcomes or incidences and stuff like that. So we talk about freedom of speech and security and all that kind of stuff, as I talked about with YouTube and how we can use YouTube for security. And when we have nothing else besides God. Right? So let's keep on trucking. I don't think I've put anything bad in here. Some of the list I accidentally put too much in there. I want to change a bit. But I think this can pretty much stay the way it is for the moment. Hey, Bubbas! It's not too bad. And I thought I'd have the chat while I go through it. Now, the duck song. Now, the duck song's there because I've asked all these things, but I'm not getting an outcome yet. Not getting an outcome. So what I'm going to keep doing is I'm going to keep asking to get an outcome to show you what I'm interested in. And when I do turn up, what I would like, right? And so in the duck thing, he talks about, you want something like, and he finally gets it, and then he goes, you now want something else, right? He's showing you what a customer is, in a way, right? And how you keep on moving on and not be in the stuck position. And always don't expect your customers to want the same thing. Because shops these days, they're getting to a point where you can only buy the same things. And they're getting smaller, smaller, smaller. Because it's business plus what people prefer. And everyone likes to copy a bit. So everyone's getting all the sort of the same thing at the same time, specials and all in the ad and all these influences. And then you get to a point where there's only a list of a few things. See the change that's happening? That's what you'll get to the outcome of that change. Is that everything will be Taco Bell. That'll be sad, Emma? But that's actually a direction we're heading in certain areas. Unless we go higher to fix a lot of areas below, we're going to keep heading a certain direction, at least for a while, which is sad. Perhaps a great quake causes that Taco Bell because they got to a point where there wasn't much selection when an earthquake happened. Right? But if you had a great big selection when an earthquake happens, what happens there? You got more of a chance of picking a different choice. Isn't it? But think about plenty. Eh? So let's keep on trucking, talking about some issues and problems going through. Didn't I already show this before? Oh, we're going back to the top of the list. What happened there? Let's just scroll for a second. My malfunction. I was just looking around and entering other things for a second. And she's gone off track. Going back in through the whole spiritual area, dairy area, lawyer area. It's pretty much what your lawyers say when you have to get a lawyer in this situation. You can't go do all the stuff, so I haven't got time for it. So lawyers always have a position. There's always going to be lawyers. It's good to have everything because there is people that rather have got too much money already, have earned the rent money, having fun, spending time with them, and just rather pay for someone else to do it if it's not too expensive. Than them to do it. Right? But when things get too ridiculous and the people abuse the system knowing that they need it and then they make them need it and all these things, you might find you get into a bit of a predicament about what people believe, what they need or what they are, right? And how much things should cost. But when you're in world business, you know what you see? You see up and down, up and down. Actually, the stock market shows you what your world market and it does that because it runs on business, right? And so the business means suck as much as you can. She's up. They're freaking out. Can't do it. They're getting upset. The kid, right, so on. The people. So and they let it go. Right? And when they do the right thing, the market will go down. Right? In that area, it's backwards. So when you see the market down, that means people are getting their fair share, more than likely. Right? And then when the market's up, that means everyone's getting ripped to the max. Right? More than likely, right? In a lot of these cases, which is another whole conversation later on if you want to do a conversation about that. As I've checked out and studied that area, and I've got a bit to say about it. And then, yeah, chucked in a few other clips. It'll help make sense. You let me know what you think. If you want something to say, you go, what? Something not there. Let me know if you believe something shouldn't be there. There was no relation. I know someone that might do that. They'll be hanging for something like that. There you go. You let me know what's wrong. So I chucked in a few things about business and all that kind of stuff there. A little bit of it today. And that's about it. And I chucked up some songs, put up a little sign. As now, I've pretty much got to take over now. Right? Unless there was some sort of miracle, as they would say, in which end I don't know, but I'll just call it that. That something changes between now and tomorrow, time we go to the bank, or time we go do a step where they're now get the money. There's no going back kind of thing. There's a little space now at the moment, I guess there could be. So that's what I've done. I started a new list because I'm about to do the next step by myself, and this is why. This is what I'm going to keep doing, and so on. What I do. I'm not here to hurt anybody. If someone's failed in some area, it's not my fault. I'm just taking the next step after waiting a period of time, which I've chosen to wait not too long kind of thing, as I've talked about in clips before, about how long should Jesus wait, or someone to wait or give chances to, you know what I mean? And I've just picked an area right in the middle kind of thing. I'll be reasonable. I'll say I'll double that roughly. I can double that. He's been damn pretty reasonable. And you can triple that. Fucking even more. But if you're doing more than that, then it means you might just forget about it and not do it. You may not do it too properly, what you need to do, because you're losing time. The devil likes that. You know, the old trick I talked about how if they owe you money or something like that, or want to come back after hurting you, they hope you forget. So they give you time. It's a little bit like that. Can happen. But there you go. Have a good one, and I think I'll leave it at that on that list until I go to talk about it more on the next stage tomorrow. More than likely, unless something comes up in life that can happen, I'll quickly chuck that out. Because sometimes you see things and you expect things. You don't want people to get angry. So for fans out there, perhaps more likely tomorrow. See you when I see you.